Hello, this is the next episode in our Let's Fix. It will be a little bit different this time because I'm in work and we are doing pair programming. So we have here Scott,
Hello.
and basically we are used to do this a lot. Scott is basically like telling me what I'm doing wrong, like another pair of eyes, and sometimes it's more efficient and more fun to do. We can start just by a very fast glimpse into the last fixes because it was actually nice that people from the video told me about some mistakes. So for people that know this condition from the last video was simplified, which some people might like, and also we made a test when we exchange input and output belt, so it was also fixed. Just little things. And now let's get to the bug fixing. Actually, this time I saw a bug already that could be nice to fix. So it's not completely blind, but I didn't look into the bug so far. And it was the rebuilding. Where was it? Rebuilding this one. Basically, they are showing a video, which is nice, showing that basically here, based on direction of the belt of the intersection, it either builds or doesn't rebuild the underground belts when you force belt. So it seems to be quite straightforward. So let's get into it. Oh, we didn't have compiled. Anyway, so this time I'm also activated the mod to generate the test case. Or we can already, before we even start to reproduce, because in the meantime we can prepare the test. We can start writing the test, which is now test super force building, I guess. Yeah, there's even special test suite for super force building on belts, which is exactly this case. And we have a test that's disabled here. Let's ignore it for now. And let's assume that this is a real bug for now before it compiles, and we can think about the name now. So I would say, how would you name it, Scott?
Superforce belt building over undergrounds in the wrong direction. I mean, it's a bit funny, these tests are superforce building when the class is test superforce building.
Direction. Okay, now we have the game started. We can explore a little bit because I'd be interested if both of these are needed. Like, does it happen even without the belt? Is the straight belt even needed?
Or even if the bug still happens.
Yeah, obviously. So we try to do simple ones. Maybe it doesn't really matter. So for starters, we try to make like underground, like this. Beacon. First beacon here. And we try to orbital this. Fine. Orbital this.
Oh.
So we found a small example, which is nice. So this is, I guess, all we need. So now, instead of writing it manually, we can actually do the new thing that I wanted to show in the last video. I activated the special internal mod that we have. It's called test creator, and I just copy paste this code.
That's the one that was successful.
Oh yeah, so well, I kind of wanted to do both, which is another thing that I wanted to try, like but we can do the wrong one first and we can generalize later. So it makes.
So this is the one that passed.
Wait.
You didn't copy and paste it.
Really? See, this is why. I know. Okay. That's a correct one. So will we want all of them to be used as variables? I guess because we want to check when we do it, we want to check that some of them are marked for the construction, etc. So we can call it.
Does it matter? We should just check afterwards if the underground belts are in the right place.
Well, maybe, yeah. So we can do belt. The I would keep it, and it will be simpler. So we do the scenario again, and this is the setup basically, and then we use the beacon for the, like we could use some other entity, but why not? So scenario set cursor. Beacon. And now we just build. It's kind of simple, right? Scenario.
Maybe we want to move them to closer to the origin.
Alright, we can move them. This is the kind of annoying part, but yeah, let's put them like under the player again. So let's sort them by, they are y coordinate. Let's put like 2.5.
I guess the X is fine.
So and the X may be fine. So move cursor, and the center point is basically the point between the undergrounds, right? So it's minus 1.5, right?
Yeah.
And 2.5. And now we just do force build. Press. Throw some things. Force. Yeah, we call it alternative build, I think. Which is a little bit inconsistent.
That's shift building, I think.
Oh,
super
no.
force building.
Super force building, yeah. So this is the correct one. And now it should do the thing. So basically the both undergrounds should be marked for reconstruction. So underground belt 1. Yeah, so basically
Well, four of the belts should be marked for deconstruction.
Alright, because there should be undergrounds on top
Yeah.
of them. So the question is, don't we want to just put them into like a vector and check it in a for loop instead of like doing for checks? Because
So we could do 4 and then put the variable names in the...
yeah, but do we need them for anything else than the check? Obviously, if the check fails, we will have a better information what failed, so maybe it's okay. If it would be more than 4, I would put it
Okay.
in for loop. So
You call it for loop because you don't need it once you get to 5.
oh, 4 here. Interesting. Transport belt 1, transport belt. So they
What do we
no, we don't.
check?
Yeah, we need to check that it's marked for the construction. Right?
Oh, where are they marked for upgrade?
They are not. That way we can look at the other case and turn ghosts off.
Yeah, it's
because
deconstruction.
from belt to underground we can't have an upgrade, so it's the construction. This is what it should do. So we mark for the construction, and now we check that the new ghosts are there. So we can do.
Just
we
to
can do
get entities.
scenario get entity, and we can use that it's on the position of the transport belt, or we can use swap position. I don't know what's better. We can use transport belt 1 position, and the name is first, right? So it's we need to get
think
ghost, right, and underground belt.
Yeah.
So there's one ghost. And this approach is nice that I just do transport belt 1 and 2 position. I don't have to think what is the actual coordinate, right? And that's it, right?
Could be. Let's try it.
So let's try it. And because we know it will probably fail, we can start maybe slowly thinking about where to fix it in the meantime, so we don't have to wait for the compilation. So this logic, oh, not yet. Okay, the scenario agree. What's the problem? Yeah, it's not used here yet, so we need to include it. We don't have the upgraded, we don't need includes yet. It's for the future. Now I need to try to remember where's the logic that actually is adding the undergrounds when you force build. I think it's something like fix.
Belt fixer?
Yeah, build fixer. So we can open it here. So let's run the test. look if it fails on the correct position. Yeah, the transport belt is not marked for the construction, which is, yeah, it is where it should start failing. And the undergrounds are.
Yeah, the underground's
Yeah,
fine,
yeah, yeah. So this is correct. So now we have failing test. So the belt fixer. This is the logic. You basically, again, as with the other logic, this is the entry point. And basically the way it works is that there are different ways you can build. You can build by manually building one entity. You can build by building a blueprint, or potentially some other ways. And the way it works that you make the object and you tell the object where you removed some belts and when you, what is this, unordered? Oh, that's a good point. That maybe. Oh, you're like
transport belts.
Oh, you're like you. Maybe you specify where you built new ones, I guess, and when you removed one, or where you basically you tell it where you removed things or where you removed belts, and you kind of accumulate it together, and when everything is done, then it makes, like we call it, fix. Basically, it tries to make the fix in a general way. So it accumulates like where we removed belt here, when there are ordered belts to be built, and what entities are. Yeah, and this basically is. Oh, I think ordered.
Ordered belts is where they all get built.
Maybe, I'm not sure. And entities to reconstruct, I think it's what one of the like results of the logic.
And all the results are given to the game adapter to do
the game adapter. This is basically our like internal object that we use, which is like an interface, because a lot of the logic in the game, it can be, we have like different modes in which we do the logic, because either you are like doing the logic actual on the game state and you modify everything as it goes, but also you have different modes where, for example, when you play multiplayer, we have a thing called latency hiding, and you can you kind of fake do something, like you fake build a building, fake mine a building, and it's not confirmed by this server yet, but we kind of pretend it's been done.
Assume it's going to happen.
Assume it's going to happen, and we kind of have this whole mechanism that is doing this assuming, but it doesn't touch the actual game state, so it doesn't break anything. This game adapter is basically a way to write generic code, which will, like, we can take a look. Basically, it's a simple class, which is like interface basically, which has a lot of methods like what you want to do, and based on what it's based on, it works differently. So, for example, you add entity, and either it will actually add entity to the map, or it will add entity to some fake list of entities to be shown as if they existed. And when you, for example, search entities on some area, if you use the fake list is then also searched, then it acts like if actually happens there. So it gives you unified interface for these cases, and we can use it to unify the logic. So this is our like both point for getting information and changing things. So now let's get to the actual. Maybe we can start a test and put a breakpoint somewhere.
Yeah.
So I think I would say that I would go to the perform fixes, because that's most probably the problem. What the problem is, we can check that it collected the correct data. So when we just run the test, we can actually look what's populated here. So we have removed belts 2, which is the 2 undergrounds on the side. That looks correct. And then we have entities. That's it. That looks correct. So basically it now is like, okay, trying to decide what to do with this. So there's this logic that it basically processes them, and removing, like processing one removed belt can end up in removing more of them, but basically until we have things to process, we just do, because there can be completely independent lines when it's a bigger blueprint, etc. So we try to remove front. So what happens? We get an entity, which is now the underground belt on 2.5. Let's open the test maybe on the right side.
Yeah.
So we can see it. So the entity is let's say 2.5 minus 2.5 minus. So this is this underground belt on the left, right? So it removes it from the things to be processed. Makes sense. The belt is curve coming from belt being part of the belt. I guess that's some special logic.
Start to replace.
And yeah, there's some, I remember there's some kind of tricky recursive logic. Basically it needs, because you don't know, you start on some belt, I need to find the edge, basically, because imagine like you are removing, I think drawing always is nice. You have like a belt line.
Maybe make it thicker and bigger. Okay.
And let's say this is belt line. And somehow your input is some list of belts to be removed. Let's say you remove this and this and this. Let's do one more. So the order is that you should do underground here and here and mark these for the construction. But let's say you start in the middle, so you somehow need to go to left and to right and find the edges, and on the edges do the work. So basically the logic is done in a way that it doesn't matter where you start, it always goes one direction or another. It's not a complicated logic, but it's important to realize what's going on. And I think this is what it's trying to do. It's basically there's this method get shifted position, which basically we give it the position minus 2.5, and we go in the direction of the entity, or here in the opposite direction of the entity. So let's say our belts in our test, they go all to west. So basically this should go east. So this should be
minus 3.5.
Yeah.
Oh, minus 1.5 east.
Yeah, and this is basically the empty point. This is the point where there's no belt. So it should basically, in our case, this is the case of when it's just replacing belt, but obviously the logic also needs to count with, I don't know how to draw it, like underground belt, and then underground belt goes up. And when you start on the underground, and then when it happens that you kind of expect to process these two independently, and one side is kind of ends in underground, so you just destroy it, and the other part it will find the edge. So in this direction where we are going first, the underground, we basically go into the gap, and it should just do nothing. And then there's, I think, another part where is the get shifted position, which goes the other way. So let's take a look what happens. Get direction, posit, get direction, and it goes get shift position, and the position of minus 1.5. It tries to figure out if there was any belt on the position we just ordered, and it doesn't find any. Then it's tries to find entity on the position existing. It didn't find it because it's empty, so it didn't do anything. So the one direction didn't do anything, which I think is correct. And now there is the logic starting underground. If the entity is underground belt, the one we started on, which is true, it tries to find the other part. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe here it actually jumps here and continue the logic as if it was like one line of belts, because it found the other end, which is the one on the right, 0.5. When we look on the right,
0.5.
this is this one, right?
Yep.
So basically it found this one and tries to make the logic there, and it should go to the right, so it should find the edge here. So let's take a look. I would really like to have a shortcut to get inside, but not to the method, but not of all those little methods that process the arguments. So now we go.
So what's the direction this time?
Belt direction is west, which is correct. All of them go west. Search direction should be east, I think. It's also west. Oh, search direction is west. But we came from the west. So the search direction, it already looks suspicious. Because we jumped the belt. I would expect the search direction to be east, right? Let's look.
It's trying to find.
And how is calculated? It's the last argument.
Because on
So
the first
other
one, it's
part-
doing dot opposite, and this one it's doing just get direction.
Other part. Yeah, because. But it doesn't matter what is the direction of the belt. The direction of the belt doesn't matter. It matters how we had to jump, because again, imagine like we have underground and it goes like this. It's my drawing. And the undergrounds can both go this direction, or you can have the same kind of pair underground and they both go this direction. Right? You can just rotate them and have this. And if you jump from here to here, the search direction should always be here, regardless of the direction of the individual actual belts. I think. So this actually is very consistent with the bug, because it works one way and not another. Because here, I think the search direction shouldn't be based on the direction of the underground. It should be based direction on how we have to jump. Do you agree? Makes sense. Here we should go to the right.
Yeah.
Here as well. I'm like 90% confident this will be the core of the problem. So the question is, how do we can do different things. We know this position. We know this position, so we can just ask what is the direction from here to here, and that use as like input. Do we have some utility?
How does the find matching underground? How does that find? I guess it just uses the connected.
I mean, it works correctly. So do we need to, like, it found the correct entity? Oh, like, okay, let's.
Like if that uses a direction.
Get as underground belt structure. Oh, we have the structure direction. Right. Structure direction. I think that's probably what we want. It's not related to. It's not related actually to the logic, but I think it just struck me. Just that underground belt has structure direction, which is independent from the normal direction. A structure direction basically it says like what is the direction of the structure of the connection regardless of the actual direction of the belt. So in this case, it looks what belt fixer. Where are we here? So this should be somehow based on the structure direction, not on the direction. Question is.
It's just structure direction.
What really? Other part. Wait a second. Starting and.
Other part. It's a type entity.
Oh, it's
underground
entity.
belt.
Why is it entity? Well, it's find matching underground belt. Oh, because it can find ghosts, maybe.
No. This
Candidate?
is type underground belt, returning candidate, which is
Yeah,
type
so maybe we
underground
should
belt.
just change this method, because it was never needed. It's just returning general entity. So I would just change the method to return underground belt, so we don't have to find matching. So we find matching return underground belt, and that means we can go back here.
Yeah, so then other part.
It can be also underground belt. And it means now other part has the structure direction method. I don't know if it's structure direction or structure direction opposite. That's we can either okay, here what it says. If it's input, it gives direction. If it's output,
Gives the opposite.
opposite. So basically, if it goes this way, input is that it goes to underground, right? So if it goes to underground here, if it's input, it goes to direction. So
And we were checking the output is the one it had the wrong direction. So it should be the opposite of the output. So in this case, I think it's correct that it will use the opposite direction.
so we should use opposite.
No, I think it's correct.
Okay. I will trust
That
you.
makes-
I will trust you on this.
Because before it uses the get direction, which was the wrong direction.
And this looks like it's used only here, right? The find matching thing. Okay, so I mean, let's just try.
I'll try and see if
Looks-
the test passes.
Looks nice. Looks pretty. It makes so much sense that it just worked in one direction, not in the other. So
Yeah, because if it's the opposite direction, it starts from
the structure,
output.
the structure direction and the direction is the same. Yeah, exactly. It starts from the output. So we try the same test, and it didn't work. Okay, so we can do the stupid man thing. Let's do opposite.
Let's see if it passes.
This is how we usually do. Like try once, try second time, and then if it doesn't work, I need to actually start thinking.
Yeah, sometimes process of elimination is just faster.
Yeah. But maybe we will not have to think. That will be the best case scenario. Also doesn't work. That's weird. Okay, so we need to probably figure out what's going on. I hoped that it would be already done. Oh, wait, get shifted position. No, it found. Wait.
It's also using
This
direction.
get shifted position. This also says where you should start. You should start. It wants to start after the underground and start searching there. Shift it from the position, but it's yeah. So this should also use this one. Maybe there's some weird formatting here. Okay, by the way, I think this should be like this. We have this rule that when you have arguments not on a single line, there should be always one argument per line, right? And this broke it. Like there was like one argument on one line.
This one as well.
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right, this one. Because then it's misleading. It looks like we already compiled, but it's just a change of lines. It shouldn't change anything. So let's try the test. Let's see if it works. Doesn't work. So now we can try the opposite, right? Now we start. Then
We tried the opposite in all the directions.
in both, right?
Because this other parameters, the
Oh,
get direction, is that correct?
wait. Let's see how it's called. It's search direction. It's in, and when you look at search direction, it's used to shift the current position. So it should be, in our case, west.
Okay, what's
Oh,
the,
east. It should be east.
What's the belt direction used for?
And the belt direction is used. Oh, the belt direction is used if the belt is still going the same. No. This start replace. It checks if the belt is still going the same direction, if it's like the same belt. Also, we were wrong. So we will have to think. Fixer. So we changed. Let's put the belt fixer. Start to replace. So the belt direction is the second one. Oh, but we didn't touch that one.
Yeah.
Search direction is changed and the position where it started change. So it looks like it should be like this. So should I try the opposite or do we or do we?
I don't think so.
You don't think it should be opposite? Okay, so let's keep it like this and let's debug. Figure out what's wrong, because now it looks like it's basically it jumps and then checks the next tile after that.
Yeah, we need to check.
What it will find, and we should find the belt and it should make the logic, and for some reason it doesn't. So let's just get into the method and check that we got the right things. Position is minus 1.5.
And it should be, it should be
Oh.
transport belt 2 position, which is minus 0.5.
Yeah,
So it went to the wrong direction.
it went to the wrong direction. So this structure direction, so the other part direction.
Because up here, it does entity get direction dot opposite for the get shifted position. So maybe it should be the opposite for
Yeah.
the structure direction.
Yeah, because, and this one,
That one's also the
yeah,
opposite.
so I was right. You told me that I'm not right, but I was right.
Well, I'm not sure. I'm just saying it's
Yeah,
similar to above.
certainly got the wrong tile, so we went
Yeah.
the other way. So this one is definitely should be opposite, and this one probably as well, but let's see in this debug. We have one less unknown. Okay, start to replace. Oh, I jumped. You know what I will do? Put breakpoint here.
So position.
So belt position west, the belt direction west, which is correct. All the belts goes west. Search direction is east. That should be correct. Position is minus 0.5. No, it's 0.5.
It's
It is transport belt 2. Everything seems to be correct. And now try to find
okay.
the belt on the position which it found, because no,
That's removed belts.
oh, it wasn't removed. We just need to remove it
Yeah.
yet because it wasn't under the.
We need to find it in the
we need to
entity
find
search.
it, and we found it in the entity search.
And what direction is it?
And entity, it goes in. So it's not marked for the construction. It's transport belt, and it's the right correction. So everything was passed.
And position.
And position, I'm checking here whether it isn't actually just a one tile gap, which isn't big enough to put both in and out underground belt. Okay. Position after, which is a bit weird. Position after, oh, we don't remove the belt right after the gap, so we can end here. What? This is weird. I'm checking here whether it's actually just a one tile gap. Isn't actually one tile gap. I'm not sure what it is, but we don't remove the belt right after the gap, so we can end here. Position after is the next one. And it tries to find something we removed after the one. But that's weird. What if it's just not removed, but it's just, I think what this logic. This logic is about that. No, what is it about? When, what was it? I'm checking here, but I think it is my comment, I guess. It isn't actually just a one tile gap. In and out. I would guess it's checking something like this goes. I don't even know. It would be the best now to know what is the test that's testing this behavior. Actually, we have to test the proposed building on bus. Maybe we can do code. Oh, superforce building built with one tile gap. We have a test for that. So what is it doing? Transport belt. You put 2 steel chests. Oh, build. We make a. See, we make a blueprint of 2 chests that have like 1 tile between them. Oh, and basically the test is doing, let's remove this new one. We have a blueprint. There's a chest and a gap between them in the blueprint. And we have like 1 long belt, and we just delete these 2 belts. And normally, if the gap is bigger, it would make like underground around each of the chests individually. But this place is too small, so it can't put in and out here, so we need to put in here and out here. So you need to kind of skip the gap. We even have tests for that. That it goes all the way from here to here and ignores this. But somehow this logic is now triggering on place that's completely seem to be unrelated, which is weird. Because normally if you put that is weird. We don't remove the belt right after the gap. That's weird. I'm a little bit stuck here.
Maybe we could make the working setup and see how that works. Why it works.
What do you mean working setup?
You know, in the opposite direction.
All right, we
worked.
can. Oh, that's the way we can. I used the same technique in the last time. Like we can just make other direction. First of all, we make it test before we generalize it. We can make a temp test. Temp, and all of them just go.
Yeah, I think just
west. So.
And the inputs need to swap to outputs.
All right. So west goes to east, and input goes to output. Goes to input.
And this test should pass straight away.
It should, yeah. And then basically it should also jump the belts and find this, and for some reason it doesn't have problem with this code. That's a good point. So did it pass? It passed. So
Nice.
now we can actually figure out why does it pass. What's the trick here? We need to go into the method again. Let's put a breakpoint here. It finds the belt. Position after is 1.5. Which is somewhere.
This is past the transport belt too.
Yes.
Yeah, which is what it did last time.
And it ended here. Oh. What?
So maybe when it does the other underground.
Start to replace and to replace. So it didn't. Oh. So it jumped. Also, the jump probably is the logic related to that you want to connect it, but it will do them like separately. So maybe this logic that I was drawing here, it somehow it doesn't have to work here. We were like here. Start to replace is transport belt.
Minus 3.5, which is the first transport belt.
Yeah, and to replace is this. Oh, so maybe this is a special logic that tries to like connect ends would be in distance limit. So this Where is the
So what's the enter replace?
start to replace is the minus 3.5.
Which is transport belt 1.
Yeah. And enter replace is the 0.5. So it basically
Yes.
tries to do them separately, and the 0.5 is the one we
But it got it correctly.
got it correctly. But why doesn't? Yeah, but now
In one.
yeah, now it is the case where it works. So
Yeah.
we can just have a glimpse into what it's
I think
doing.
once it's at this point, it just works.
Oh, it just works. Okay, so we know what to expect when it works. It's probably failing somewhere here. And to replace and belt to replace. Okay, so we can go back to the original test, right? So perforce building with the wrong. We don't have to restart. And this one we know that it's fine. Oh, but start to replace is now null, and it wasn't null, right? It returned something before. It went inside, but it returned the entity, and the entity wasn't null. Why is it now null? So that's the difference. So let's get back here. Let's run it again. Let's back into the method and put it here. So, oh, it didn't find entity. Position is minus 1.5.
Because it's in the opposite direction, so it's trying to find it in between the underground belts.
So we made this guessing game wrong. I guess the get shifted position. So let's get back to how the now we need to use the brain.
We didn't touch that. We didn't change that function at all.
Oh, we were touching this.
Yeah.
But if we didn't fix this, this get shifted position is also wrong. No, this is entity. So why does it work like? Oh,
Is there another place start to replace is set?
start to replace. But we had both before.
Yeah.
We had start and end when the direction was opposite. And here, when the end, you try to get the end by the underground logic, whatever. And then you call this, and you get it. Entity get entity. But here it's opposite. Yeah, so basically here the way start replace doesn't work should be we need to run the temp test again. We don't have to compile, right? You know what I wanted to do? I want to look. Now we have more information. So start replace, we don't care because now start replace is the part that's. But the other one, now this is the end replace 0.5. So this is the right one, and it shouldn't fail. It should return an entity. Yeah, it found it. And entity, enter replace.
Yeah, but we were looking at start to replace. In the failing test, that was null pointer.
Yeah, but this is the other way around. This is what I'm trying to figure. Now this is based on the direction of the entities themselves. Whether you go to left or right is based on the left or right of the entities.
Yeah.
So start replace and end replace are basically like two directions. One is in the direction of the entity and one is in opposite. So in the passing test, if it goes to the direction like they are reversed. That was my idea. So now we are in the I was check. Now we are in the failing test. No, we are in the one that goes correctly. And both of them are failed, which is weird. The end one is failed and it's using because the end one is used by the underground logic, because because somehow the underground logic, the jumping, it's used only in one direction, but not in the other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like here I go belt climbing. Here I try to find the other end by jumping underground. And if it didn't work, I find it the normal way. But I think I should have the same logic for starter replacing as well.
So maybe it should be a method like find.
Yeah,
like
and just make
underground
this.
start jump.
Yeah, like basically this, like we would copy paste this and change it for the starter place, but then it's almost the same. They don't use each other, right? Or the.
No, it's just you got two functions. Like your variable's named the same as the
Oh
function.
yeah, but the actual name is not used here. So basically, this would be extracted. So this would be like a method. I don't know. Let's be brave and try to extract the methods.
Maybe 100 parameters.
Oh yeah.
Find underground start.
I would, let's say something like investigate direction, maybe. Like explore in one direction. So let's say what it returns void, which is wrong. So result equals this. Yeah, now it's even nicer because we can just return.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is the nice refactoring. And then we don't have to have the if, and here we return this. That's nice. And we return so we don't need the result. And we return entity. And we put it into source file. And the question is, explore in direction, whether this is all we need. What is the entity? It's the. Yeah, it's fine. Let's just keep it as it is. Oh, but we need to somehow to say it if it's one way or the other.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, like some kind of bool opposite.
Maybe forward.
And then blah blah blah. Starting find matching underground and remove get shifted position. And now this is all. What is the actual? Let's take a look on. This is CPP already.
Yeah.
They should. When we look at the original method, we did start to replace entity get direction. What are the belt fixer? Try to remove start. So position belt. So the search direction should be the thing that differentiated, right? So it's just a lot because belt direction is the same, position is the same, but the search direction and the tile that we choose is opposite or not based on. This is called this. So here, do we have some kind of method that gives us opposite, like based on bool? So we need to make it manually, like opposite or the original one. This is a little bit not that beautiful, but and here the belt direction is the same, and this is the direction of the search. So again, so maybe let's make it. We can actually extract this like a search direction is the same as.
Yeah, like put it into the parameters. Oh.
And it's the same that we used to search for the tile.
Semicolon at the.
Semicolon to start.
Yep.
Yeah. And the same that we use here. And here is the same. No, this is based on or the opposite. This is one is only for when it's underground.
Yeah.
And here this is one for the generic one.
Wait. Here we have the starting underground.
Yes. We basically try to find the other one from our position. What do you mean? Oh, you mean like we will find the same entity? It's over. Oh, are we stupid? Oh, it makes sense that it's just once there, because from here you always jump to another. There's no like other option. What? Oh, now I know what's the problem, obviously.
Okay.
Because you choose one direction of the belt. So basically if in one way you go left and you follow the belts. And the logic was we only jump one way, so the jumping logic is there only one. But if the jump way is aligned in a way that to the left is one logic and to the right is the other logic, it matches and checks both directions. But if the belt direction is other way around, then the jump goes one way, but the search also goes the other way to the empty place and doesn't find anything. So we need to decide what end is the jump assigned to based on the direction of the belt. So it's the other one that we didn't search. That's the actual problem. I think the whole thing that we wrote till now is probably bullshit. I would say. I would almost like not the test, but
Yeah,
check out the search. So, no, so hot reload. No, ignore. Yeah, because we are still debugging. So here.
See, here, when we have underground belt, we can use structure direction. Maybe that's also what we need to use for the start to replace. And that direction should be...
No, but here it doesn't have to be underground belt. It can be whatever.
Yeah, but if it is an underground belt, we want to know, because we need to flip the direction if it's an input or an output.
No, like this would be untouched. This would be untouched. The only logic would be that the result of this either go to end to replace or it goes to start to replace, based on which one of the directions is it replacing by the jump. So basically, you know what I mean. So basically, I would say the end on the other side, which we don't know which one it is, but some of it is this. And then we would say, we would also, this would be done after. Start to replace, end to replace and start to replace would both be initialized as an empty. Then this one fills either start or end based on which direction of search it replaces by the jump. And here, same as here, we would do if not start replace. If it wasn't replaced by the jump, we actually manually search there through the belts. So it would be like, this is the...
Start to replace equals, yeah.
Does it make sense to you?
It's a lot more symmetric.
Yeah, exactly. And here we get the result, and basically now if something start to replace equals end of the other side, else end to replace. And the question is, what is the something? So it's some like direction of the structure, direction of the belt compared to direction of the belt. I would say almost say something like that. Like if starting underground, structure direction equals starting underground get direction, and now it's this way or the other again. But if it's an input belt, means in our case is it goes to west.
This is just a roundabout way of checking if it's an input or an output. Because structure direction just flips the direction. If it's
Oh yeah, maybe that's okay. So if it's input, belt type. So input.
No, you did transport belt prototype.
Transport belt. Not. Yeah, it's underground.
Oh yeah.
Underground belt type. And the question is, okay, so before the logic was always replacing only n to replace. And in our case, I don't know, we can just try this and see if it's correct, or you want to actually use
Try
brain.
input. Yeah, we can try it.
Feeling lucky?
We can try the temp test first, see if it passes.
Oh, if we didn't, oh, that's a good idea. So if we didn't break the existing one.
Which could be.
But this looks very logical now. I think before I was 90% sure we fixed it. I was wrong. I'm again 90% sure that we.
And
So this is not, so let's try it the other way around and then we use our brain.
you close belt fixer.
Belt fixer. What is it? Output. Input. It was here. So output. At least one of them should work for the temp. Then some refactoring will be in place, but I would do it after. This method is starting to be a little bit crazy. So
Nice.
this pass. And now the moment of expectation. No. No. Other part, position. Other part, get direction. But isn't this still wrong because we jump and then we need to go into the position of the jump, not in the position of the belt? I think like the fix we did was actually also needed.
Yeah.
No, it's what? Other part is we don't return on the ground again. We kind of removed
Yeah. It's okay.
this point matching, and we need to put it here. Find matching. So we need to have underground, and now we have a structure direction. And is it structure direction of the original one? I don't know.
I mean, because the directions should be the same if they're.
Input, and we started on input, I think. And the direction of the search, it should be the same also. Okay. So we try the temp again. I think it's a good technique. Now we know if we didn't break the working case.
Yep.
I expected this to be much easier than the last bug, and it's actually more complicated. Broke it. So do we do opposite and try it again? Because I would say that I'm always confused about this.
Yeah.
temp, and the other test. Oh,
Whoa.
yeah. This is the dopamine rush, you know. Oh, finally, 2 greens. So,
Somehow, it works.
let's run all the tests.
Yeah, we could have done just the suite.
Yeah, it just makes sense now.
Do you want
me.
to put it on the main screen?
Sorry? Yeah. It just makes sense that we just replace one of the search directions by the jump, but we need to specify which one here.
The only thing suspicious might be that test with the one gap. Might be the nemesis test.
Oh yeah, but I don't think in the end it doesn't really. Oh, I think yeah. Let's see. It could be the nemesis. So, yes.
Wow.
He didn't break anything.
31 forks passed.
Yes. So
is there any
Now-
nice cleanup?
now, yeah. But first of all, we need to make sure that it's testing in both directions instead of having the temp.
Yeah.
So what we do is like.
We could even do all 4 directions if we want it to be fancy.
Yes, but then we will have to rotate the whole setup. So I think I would say direction, about direction. No, but we would have to change the input output anyway, right? So how do we do it?
Bool, true, false.
Bool, really? Okay. Bool reversed. This one of the way we do it, false, true. So it's kind of, I don't know. Okay, reversed.
Basically put a ternary
East.
everywhere.
Yeah. Or at least, okay, in that case. At least, let's not repeat the direction
okay.
specification. Build direction equals reversed direction east, direction west. This will be build direction. And here it would be, is it some smart, no, it's just a very simple thing we can't do first on it, so reversed is input.
Yep.
Input, output, and here's the other way around. Output, input. And
The rest should be fine.
that should be this. So basically this is how we just sometimes, so basically this is the typical way how we test more variants, and we have some extreme tests where we have I think 7 inner loops of all the combinations.
Yeah, like different directions or building
Yeah.
modes if it's a ghost or a real
Exactly.
entity.
I think the test is somewhere here, but yeah, this
Oof.
one. This is the huge test. It's testing overbuilding obstacle with one tile gap. This is the gap of undergrounds. This is first pass is ghost, second pass is ghost, obstacle is removed for second pass, first pass forward, second pass forward, use input handler. All of the combinations are tested this way, which is kind of nice. So yeah, so it seems to work. So this is the first. And with the code itself, I wouldn't do the refactoring part of this change. I would first commit the.
Yeah.
The only thing I would change is these to white space. But other than that, I think it's fine. Okay, so make a change log, and we are done.
Oh, might want to pull master first.
Fixed. So what is it? Force. How do we call
Super
it?
force building.
Super forced building across underground belts not working for some directions. Say that. And
Good.
so let's check diff, changelog, the logic, the method we changed, include, and the test method we changed. Good. So let's try this time. Can we push? No. Database, hit push. Theoretically, we should test again after a basing, but the probability of it breaking is very small, I think. So now the forum, and in the meantime,
Oh, was the second one a different bug?
underground bus created by force build also don't display the last user. Yeah, like we don't know.
That's
It's
a different thing.
Different thing. Yeah, exactly. But the bug is now is fixed for the next release. So resolved, and I would just do the manual test.
Sanity check.
Quick sanity check, exactly. But maybe we don't do that. Maybe we show how much we trust our tests. But so these are two directions. This and this. Correct. I don't know what else.
Directions look correct. We can try up and down.
Oh, right. That's good. So we do like this. And then vertical. Works. Nice, done.
There we go.
So it was 1 hour and 7 minutes. Thank you for listening, and see you next time.
Goodbye.